Hello viewers, welcome to this video demo where we are going to learn how to automate tasks using n8n. I'm going to guide you step by step on how to use n8n to automate your tasks, and this video is especially for beginners who have not worked on any automation tool before and you want to learn it step by step. We're going to use n8n to automate our task. n8n is an automation tool you can see powered by AI agent and workflow you can see and control. It is free and open source automation tool which you can host on your own server, or you can also have it hosted by n8n by themselves. We are going to use their free version for this testing. So let me show you what we are going to build, guys. I have this a pretest quiz hosted in Netlify. The mission of this project is that when a user enters first name, last name, and email, is going to start the quiz. This is Excel beginner pretest. So you test your basic Excel knowledge before enrolling in a course. After a user submits the quiz or the test, it is going to be sent to Google Sheet. We are going to collect the first name, last name, email, the score of the student, percentage, skill level, and date. So it is going to be collected in Google Sheet. The student is going to receive an email. A student will receive an email and the instructor will also receive an email. So that is what we are going to automate using n8n. But before then, let's test our project, guys. I'm going to start by entering the first name, enter the last name, let me enter the email, and click start quiz. So I'm going to answer this question randomly, guys. So I will not be checking for the correct answer because of time. So I'm going to answer it randomly. When you click and see the result page, this is the result page for this particular user. The user is an intermediate. You already know the basic. You can improve quickly. So now I'm going to click submit result, guys. So let me click on submit result. Submitting. You can see it says submitted successfully, guys. So let's go to our Google worksheet. Let me go to the Google worksheet. Do you see the exam has been submitted here, guys? You can see the score is 7. So see the 7/10. You can see 70%. And if you go to the worksheet, you can see 70% here. And the user is an intermediate learner of Excel. You can see intermediate. Likewise, the result we have here, intermediate. And let's go to the user email address, guys. That is the person that wrote this exam. So let me go to the email address. You can see this user has already received an email. So let me open the email. You can see the result sent to the user email address, guys. Thank you for completing the Excel beginner pretest. Your result, that is 7/10, percentage 7, skill level intermediate. You already know the basic. You can improve quickly. Okay, that is the feedback, guys. And if you have any question about your result, feel free to reply to this email. This is the email the user received, guys. Now let's go to the instructor email address. So I have this email address for instructor. You can see the instructor email address. Let me open it. You can see new Excel pretest submission. Okay, so this email was sent to the instructor. They say, hi instructor, a new student has completed the Excel beginner pretest. Okay, you can see student detail, name, email, quiz result, and the skill level is intermediate, and also the date. You can see everything. That is what we are going to learn how to do using n8n, guys. Okay, we are going to host our quiz in Netlify, and the workflow is to be in n8n. Okay, so let's begin. To get started with n8n, you need to visit this link, guys, n8n.io. From here, you can start with the cloud version, which is 14 days free trial. From here, you can click sign in with your Google account. Once you sign in with your Google account, it is going to take you to the workflow. That is the web version. Okay, right now I'm using the web version, guys. Okay, so let me show you another way to get n8n. You can install it locally. You can install it locally using npm. You can use npm to install it locally. You can use npm to install it locally locally, guys. So if you want to test it locally in your machine, so to install it using npm, you need to open the terminal of your system and type npm install-n8n. So it is going to install globally in your system. You can also create a simple project, guys, with package.json and install it in that particular directory without using global. So if you want to install it in a particular location, you just create package.json and run npm install n8n, and it is going to be local in that directory. Okay, but -g is going to make it to be global in your system. So that is another way to install n8n. After installing it locally in your system, to open it, all you need to do is to type n8n like this. Just type it like this and press enter. So it is going to launch n8n. I've already installed it locally in my system, so it is going to launch now. So let's wait for it to launch. You can see initializing n8n process. You can see n8n is running on localhost port 5678. You can see it here. You can also press O to open it in browser. So let me just press O. You can see it is launching in a browser. You can see n8n is now running locally in my system, guys. Okay, you can see the URL of this local host. So that is another way to get it ready in your system, guys, using npm. Let me show you another way to install it, guys. This is n8n documentation where it shows you step by step on how to install n8n using Docker. Okay, so you can just follow the step here, guys. Follow the step that is outlined here to install Docker and n8n in your system. So you can also watch the video, a 5-minute video that show you step by step on how to install it locally in your system using Docker. That is how to get started with Docker and get it ready in your system. In the next video, we are going to start with n8n web version. We're going to start with the web version of n8n, guys. So you need to sign in. Just click on get started and follow the step to sign in with your email address. Okay, you can just use the Gmail to sign in automatically and follow the step. Once you follow the step and sign in, you are going to land in this page, guys, overview. This is n8n interface, okay, where you are going to see your recent project. It is called workflow, guys. To get started, you need to click on create workflow. You can also click on this plus here to create a new workflow. You can just click on create workflow. So let me click on it. This is the canvas where you actually build your application. You can see add first step or build with AI. So we're not going to start building with AI now because I want to introduce to you the interface and how to work with n8n. Okay, so first of all, you can rename your workflow, guys. Here it is saying workflow 2. I can name it. You can give it a meaningful name. Let me give it a meaningful name, guys. This is what I give it, guys. Excel pretest for beginners. Okay, so let me press enter. I've already given this workflow a new name. Let me show you the quiz we are going to work with, guys. Okay, this is the quiz here. So let me launch this quiz. So let me click go live so that you can see the interface. Okay, this is our quiz, guys. Excel beginner pretest. So we're going to work with it. So let's go back to our workflow. You click on this plus to get started, guys. Just click on this plus to get started. I'm going to click on it. You can see what triggered this workflow. Okay, so you have to start with a trigger. A trigger is something that starts something. Then we have different ways of triggering something here, guys. You can see manual trigger. We also have on app event, on schedule, on webhook call, on form submission. Let me just introduce this thing for you, guys. Let me just start trigger manually. Now, when you trigger something manually, it means that you have to click on the execute workflow for it to run. If I click on execute workflow now, you can see workflow executed successfully. You can also delete the tool you added. So let me click delete. Let me click on this plus again. There's one that says on form submission. Okay, if I click on form submission, this is the tool that will run when you submit a form. So we're going to name our form something, guys. Let me name it test form. Here you can build your form description. I will say this is a test form. Then you can add a form element, guys. So let me just add the simple form element with a label. I will say first name. The input type is going to be a test input. So if you want to execute this particular tool, you click execute step and it is going to give you output when you execute it. Let me click on it. It is going to launch a form in a browser. You can see it will launch a form in a browser. Let me type a name. Let me say John Doe. Let me click on submit. Do you see form submitted? Your your response has been recorded. And if I close the browser now, you can see the output first name, and you can see the name I entered. So you can see that this form event, this on-form submission has been executed. And what you should bear in mind is that any tool you enter mostly have input and output. For example, our form have the input, which is the form. Okay, the form field where you enter the value is an input. It accepts input and also return the output. So the output of this form is the value that you enter. You can see under output, you have the value you enter. It will return it as a JSON format, guys. You can also format it as a table. You can see it is now a table, or a schema. It will give you the schema of that particular item. You can return it as a table or JSON. That is the form event. Let me click on this and close it. I can delete this on form submission. So let me click on it to delete it. I've deleted it. So for our project, guys, we are going to use what is known as Webhook. Our project is going to start with Webhook. I'm going to click here that say add first step. I'm going to add it. I'm going to search for Webhook. Webhook. So this one. So I'm going to click on it. A webhook allows you to submit data to it. This is a webhook that n8n have given us, so we can be able to submit our data from our form. We are going to submit this exam result to the webhook that it is going to give us here. So this is the webhook URL. So we're going to change it to post because we are posting data. So, and we are going to make use of post request. So I'm going to select post. Now I'm going to copy this URL, guys. This one is a test URL. That is when you are developing locally, you need to use the test URL. If you are in production, that is when you deploy your application to Netlify, you can now use the production URL. So I'm going to start with test URL and copy it and go to the HTML of my form. That is the test. Go to the app.js. This is where I'm making a post request. Okay, I'm using a fetch API to submit the student. I'm using a fetch API. Let me just remove this check for now. Let me just remove this check for now and add it like this. This is our test webhook URL. I just enter it here, webhook URL, and this is exactly what we are passing into this fetch API. So you don't need to know much about it. So I'm going to save. So let me return to the workflow. Now that I have entered the test URL, can add more options like authentication. Now we are not doing any authentication, so I'm going to select none. Then response, for now it's just saying immediately, so we just allow the default for now. You can add more options, allow origin, feed name, and many other things you can do. You can also select response code or response data. You can also select it. But let me just allow the default so that you see the default behavior of the webhook. I'm going to close this. Then I'm going to select execute workflow. Let me just select it and select execute workflow. It is now listening to a submit event to this URL. So let me go to our test, guys. Let me just put a test name, test2, and email is going to be test@gmail.com. Press enter to start the quiz. Let me quickly run through this quiz. So I'm going to submit this quiz now so that you will see what is going to happen here, guys. You see waiting for you to call the test URL. So let me submit this now. Let me click submit. Submitting, submitted successfully. You can see workflow executed successfully. This is what it returned. So let me open this good. You can see it returns some data for us, guys. It returns some data. It is a JSON data. You can also format it as table. Can format it as table. This is the table format. Let me return it to JSON format. You can see under the body we have the first name, last name, email, quiz title, score, percentage, skill level, date, and even the answers. That is exactly what we are submitting from this quiz. That is exactly what we are submitting. You can see it is submitted it to this webhook, and the webhook captured the data we submitted from our test form. Let me just close it. The next node we are going to add, guys, is the node that will enable us to summarize our submission. So let me click here and select edit feed. Just search edit feed. This one that say edit feed /set. This is a field that enables you to store your own custom data, guys. You can use manual mapping to start adding field and the value, but we are going to use a JSON file format like this. We need to access the input data. The input data is going to be the output of the webhook. Because I refresh the page, I'm unable to access the webhook again, so I need to submit the form again to be able to access the output into the input of the edit feed. So let me connect it. You just connect it like this. The output of this webhook is going to be the input of the edit feed. You can also rename it to anything. You can select and double click the node and rename it. So I'm going to name this one result summary. We need to access the output of the webhook as an input to this summary result. So I'm going to submit the form again, guys. Before I submit the result, I need to execute the workflow. So let me, since we are in test mode, I'm going to click execute workflow. Then it is now waiting for the result. So I'm going to click submit now. Submitted successfully. Now we should have our data here, guys. What I'm going to do, I'm going to double click the webhook. I'm going to pin this data so that I don't need to resubmit the test. Okay, so by pinning it here, it will remain here. The result will remain here. Now that I have pinned the data, let me close this and go back to the resource summary. Remember, the resource summary is actually the edit feed. So I'm going to double click on it. I'm now having the output of the webhook as an input to the edit feed. And here you can add your custom JSON file, guys. I'm going to remove this one, go to expression. So I'm going to open curly bracket. It is a JSON file, guys. I'm going to paste the summary of what I want, guys. So I'm going to have the first name, last name, email, quiz title, score, percentage, skill level, date, and also the feedback. Let me add the feedback as well. So I need to enter the value of this first name. So we're already getting the first name from the body. So I'm going to drag this, guys. Just drag it like this and place it here like this. What you have inside these two double curly bracket is known as JavaScript. Okay, but you don't need to know JavaScript, guys, to follow along. So I'm going to map the last name with the last name. Make sure you separate each with comma. And we need to map the email. So drag the email like this. Drag the email and map it here. Then we also map the date. Then the feedback. So we need to map the feedback, and our feedback is going to be a conditioner. Because it is a conditioner, I'm going to open a curly bracket like this. Then I'm going to map the skill level. So I will just drag this skill level like this, put it here. I'm going to say equals to, so the value we're expecting is beginner. So we have beginner. So it is a ternary operation, guys. If it is a beginner, we are going to have the text. So if it is a beginner, we are going to have this text. Now the text is going to be, you should start from the beginner Excel course. Otherwise, we are going to check if it is an intermediate. So I'm going to drag the skill level once again. Drag the skill level here. Check if it is equals to intermediate like this. If it is an intermediate, the text is going to be, you are already know the basic, you can improve quickly. Else it is going to be, you are ready for advanced Excel training. Okay, so this is just a ternary operation, guys. Okay, you don't need to know the JavaScript. So this is a basic JavaScript ternary operation to check if the user is a beginner, intermediate, or advanced learner. Okay, so that is going to be the feedback. Later on, we are going to use AI to create the feedback, but for now, you need to understand how the node work. Okay, this is the output of what we are going to get from this result summary. So this is what we are going to get. You can see the preview here. If I execute this step now, let me execute it. You can see the output, guys. This is the output, and this is exactly what is going to go into our Excel worksheet. That is what we were able to use this node to do, to summarize the output from the webhook, and we have this summary. I'm going to pin it as well, so let me pin it. Then close this, and we have the webhook and the result summary. The next node we need to add, guys, is the node that enables us to append this data into Excel worksheet. So let me show you the worksheet we are going to work with. Okay, this is the worksheet we are going to work with, guys. We need to sign in with your Google account and create a worksheet. When you go to Google Drive, you just click on create worksheet. Your worksheet will be created. I have a Google worksheet like this with some headers: first name, last name, email, score, percentage, skill level, and date. This is where we want to submit our data to. Let's return back. I'm going to add another node. So I'm going to click this plus, or you can just click this plus here. So let me click here. Now search for Google Sheet. Just type Google Sheet, search for Google Sheet. Google Sheet, this one, Google Sheet. I'm going to select it. Then you can see different options, guys. We have action, document action, sheet within document action, and so on. We also have the triggers. So I'm going to select this one that say append row in sheet. You can also append or update row in sheet if you need to update existing row. I'm going to select append row in sheet. Select this one. You can see the summary output is now showing as input here, guys. Okay, but before then, you need to connect your credentials. You need to create your credentials, and to create a credential is very simple. What you are going to see, you click this one and select create new credentials. Okay, click on it. What you need to do is to sign in with your Google account. That's all you need to do, guys. You select the recommended OAuth2 here, then select sign in with your Google. Just sign in with your Google account that have your worksheet. Okay, well, after successful signing in, you will now have your credentials as selected. Automatically, you will have your credentials. Okay, I've already signed in. Then I select Google Sheet OAuth2 API, which is already assigned when I log in with Google. From here, you can see resources. Then we're going to work with sheet within document, but you have different option document, but we are going to work with sheet within document. Then operation, append row. You can also change the operation here, append or update. If you want to append or update, you can select it, or append row, you can also select it. Our major function is to append row, but append and update row can also do the same thing. You can say append a new row, update an existing one. So this one is going to upsert, while this one is just adding a new row in a sheet. We're going to focus on append row. It says document from list. So you can see it has already dictated my Excel beginner pretest, guys. This one, Excel beginner pretest, that is the name I give it. It is already dictated here. You can select it, guys. Just select it like this. So you can see everything is very easy. You can also do by URL or by ID. If you are using by ID, you can just select it and come to this place and select your ID. So this is the ID of your document, of your Excel sheet. You just copy this ID, this section, Control C to copy it, and where it is say paste ID, you just paste it here like this, just like this. Then under the sheet, you select the sheet you want to insert your data. You just click choose. You select sheet 1. If you go to our Excel, you can see we have sheet 1. We only have one sheet, which is known as sheet 1, which is the default sheet. Then go back. Now you can see your field name is now showing here, guys. The field name from the sheet. Let me quickly show you. You can see the first name, last name, email, up to date. We have it here. So we do not have feedback, guys. So let me enter the feedback. So this is our feedback, guys. I just entered the feedback now. So let's go back to the n8n. You can see this one that says column are out to date. I refresh to see changes. So I'm going to refresh, click refresh. Is fetching the columns. Okay, now I have my feedback, guys. This is the feedback, the one I just added now. Now let's go back and begin to map the value to send. Now I'm going to select the first name from the input, guys. So this input is coming from this webhook, which this one that say result summary. Then I'm going to select this first name, just grab the title like this and move it to this field. First name, last name, I'm going to map it like this. I'm also going to map the email. Select the email, drag it to the email feed. Then score, we have the score, have the percentage. Let's map the feedback. select the feedback and map it like this. We have already mapped all our data, guys. And now if I execute this flow now, it is going to submit this result we already have here. Right now we don't have any data in our worksheet, guys, so I'm going to execute this execute step. Let me click on it. You can see node execution successful, and it returned the data we submitted. So you can see it returned the data we submitted, guys. If I go to the worksheet, you can see the data has been submitted, and we also have the feedback. You can see the test at gmail.com, score is 5, percentage is 50%, skill level is intermediate, also have the date and the feedback. Now let's go back. Let me close this. I'm going to unpin all this data, guys. Let me unpin it. Also going to unpin this one, unpin this data, then I select anywhere on the screen and select execute workflow. Now we're going to start from beginning now to take quiz. I'll go to the quiz section. I'm going to start take another quiz. Let me enter a name. Let's say John Doe. That is John Doe at mail.com. Then click start quiz. Let me answer this quiz randomly, guys, without checking the correct answer. Okay, I'm going to hit submit result. This is our workbook. So I'm going to select submit result now. Let me click submit result. Submitting. So you can see it is working. You can see workflow executed successfully. It started from the workbook, go to the result summary, and submitted it to the worksheet. Let's go back to our worksheet now. You can see we have John Doe, and the test result is 80%. Skill level ready for advanced. The feedback is you are ready for advanced Excel training. And now if you check the quiz result, you can still see everything here. Even if I click submit again, it will not work because you can only submit your result once. You can see our workflow is working, guys. Our workflow is working as expected. The next thing we're going to add is the ability to send email to both the user, that is the student, and the instructor. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to add, we need to send email to both the instructor and the student. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to add another node, guys. I'm going to click add node, this plus. Then I'm going to search Gmail, select this one. Then we need to select send mail. So you select this one that says send mail. That is our main purpose now. We have the result from the append row. You can also access the result from the result node. So you can also access the input from the result node or from the append row, so which return the result as well. Depending on which one you choose, guys, you can also access it. You can also access from the webhook. If you want to go through this webhook submission, you can also see the result is available for you here. But since we have already summarized it, I'm going to select from summary, the result summary, which we submitted to the Google worksheet. You still need to do authentication, guys. All you need to do is to select this one that says create new credential. You select it, just select sign in with your Google. Okay, sign in with your Google email. That's all. Once you sign in with your Google email, then you return to this page. Under credential, you select Gmail Auth API, which will automatically be assigned to you after successfully logging in with your Google. Then resources with message. We want to send message, guys. Okay, we select message, and the operation is also send. You make sure you select send. Then to email, this message is going to be sent to the instructor. Okay, so we're going to send this to instructor. I'm going to rename this one send message to instructor. So send a message to instructor. So I rename it so that I will know what this node is doing, guys. So we're going to send a message to the instructor that a user has submitted exam. Now the instructor email address, that is to. I just type instructor email address here, guys. The subject is going to be new Excel pretest submission. Email type is text. If you want to send HTML, you can send HTML, but for this illustration, I'm going to select text. The message, that is the message you want to send, guys. I have the format of the message already. I'm going to copy it and select expression, then and paste the message I want to send, guys. This is the message: a new student has completed the Excel beginner pretest. Then I want to show the detail of the student details. I'm going to select the student details, the first name and the last name. So I'm going to remove this one that says first name here and replace it with the data I have here, first name. I will just grab it and replace it there as the first name. I'm also going to select the one that says last name and remove it and select the last name of the student from our data and replace it like this. Then the email as well, I'm going to remove this one, the placeholder, and grab the student email address and put it here. And here we have the output. Email is johndoe@mail.com. We also have the quiz result. I'm going to select the score, remove the score here, and select the score from our data, replace it like this. Then the percentage as well, I'm going to remove the placeholder and map it with the percentage we have here. This is the percentage, map it like this. Then the skill level, we're also going to map it as well. The skill level, map it like this. This is the message the instructor is going to receive, guys. Let me execute this workflow to see if the instructor is going to receive this email. Let me click execute. Okay, node execution successfully. The email has been sent, guys. There is no error. So let me open the email. So do you see here, guys? I just got a new email address, new Excel pretest. You can see the detail of the email address. Hi, instructor, a new student has completed the Excel beginner pretest. The name of the student is John Doe, email johndoe@gmail.com. We have quick result. Score is 8/10, percentage is 80%, and skill level is ready for advanced Excel. This is the email the instructor received, guys. We need to send email to the student as well so that they will see their result in email. So let's go back to our workflow. Let me close this one. I'm going to add another email, but you can also duplicate, guys. Instead of adding, you can duplicate, or you can just select this node and add another email. So for now, let me just type another Gmail. Type for Gmail, add, select Gmail. Then I'm going to select send mail again. Your credential is already selected, guys. Once you have already logged in once, your credential will already be selected. Okay, so if it has not been selected, you need to select your credential, which is already stored in the database when you log in. The resource is going to be a message and the operation is going to be a send. Then we need to send it to the student that wrote this exam. That is to. I'm going to select to email from here because this one is going to be dynamic. I don't need to type it manually. So I'm going to select to here and replace here with to. You can see the preview is johndoe@gmail.com. This is a test email, guys. It is not a real email. The subject of this email is going to be your Excel beginner pretest result. I'm going to change email type to text. The message, I have the template of the message. I'm going to select the template of this message, guys, and paste it here. I need to change it to expression and paste the template. And the template is going to be dear first name, that is the name of the student. I'm going to replace this placeholder with the name of the student, which is going to be the first name. You can also include the last name as well. Then thank you for completing the Excel beginner pretest. Your result. I'm going to map everything here, guys. The score, I'm going to select the score of this student and map it like this. Then map the percentage, replace the placeholder with the percentage like this. We have the feedback. So I'm going to replace everything here. I'm going to remove everything here and replace it with the feedback like this. I can also add the date and map the date as well. This is the feedback. Let me add the space like this. That is the email we're going to send to the user, guys. Okay, let me close this. And this is what we have so far. So let me rearrange it so you can see after the result is stored in the worksheet, it is sending the email to the instructor and also sending email to the user asynchronously. You can also rename this one. Let me open it and rename it to send email to student. Close this. Okay, you can see send email to student, send email to instructor, and it is doing it asynchronously at the same time, as you can see. Let's test our workflow, guys. I'm going to deselect everything, guys, and select execute workflow. I'm going to execute the workflow. So it is now starting from the beginning, waiting for you to call the test URL. So I'm going to the test again, guys. This time I'm going to take the quiz again. So here I'm going to use a real email for testing, guys. Click start quiz. I'm going to answer this quiz randomly. This is the quiz result, guys. I'm going to hit submit result now. Since we're in a test mode, I need to select execute workflow. So let me submit this result, guys. So I'm going to hit submit result. It's submitting, and you can see it's now appending. It sent email to the instructor and also send email to the student. So let's check the instructor email address. So this is the new instructor email address, guys. Open it. You can see the name of the student, also the email of the student. Then we have the quiz result for that particular student and date, and you can see everything here, guys. You can also see this attribution. This email was sent automatically with n8n. We're going to remove it if you don't want the attribution, guys. So let's check the student email address. This is the student email address, guys. You can see it received a message from the instructor. So let me open it. You can see, thank you for completing this Excel beginner pretest. Your result is 5/10, percentage is 50%, skill level is intermediate. You already know the basic, you can improve quickly. You can see the feedback, guys. If you have any question about your result, feel free to reply to this email. And we also have this attribution, guys. So let's remove the attribution. Let me show you how to remove the attribution. If you go to your Node n8n canvas, you select the email, just select the email, open it. Then under this one that say add option, you select it, select append n8n attribution, then uncheck it. So just uncheck it like this, close your work, then also do the same thing for this one. Then go to the add option, select this one and uncheck it, and now there will be no attribution. This is our workflow, guys. If we check our Excel sheet here, you can also see that the last one we submitted, you can see it has been added to our worksheet. Let's see what we have next. Let me go to the Excel beginner test, the UI. Let me go to the console and see what we have, guys. This is the message that was returned by workflow to the front end. Workflow was started. This is not a reasonable message to send to the client. So let's see how to send a good message to the client using the workflow. Okay. Right now, the message you are receiving is workflow was started, which does not make much meaning to the front end, guys. So what we are going to do, we go back to our workflow. So I'm going to add another node, guys. So the node we are going to add, let me search for it. I'm going to search for respond to webhook. So search for it like this. This one that says respond to webhook. So I'm going to click on it. Under respond with, you can select all incoming data, binary file, first incoming item, JSON format, and JWT token, no data, redirect, or text. So let me just select a JSON file so that you see how it works. I'm going to select add a success flag. Let me just add a success to be true. Also add another one. Message is going to be quiz submitted successfully. This is the message I want to return to the front end when the user submit a quiz, guys. Success to be true, message, quiz submitted successfully. It is a JSON data, guys. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to link this one. I'm going to link it like this, guys. I'm going to link it. I want this response to work when a user, after successfully sending the message to the instructor and sending the message to the student as well, and it is going to respond. Okay, and under the webhook now, what I'm going to do is to double click on the webhook to open it. Here it is say respond immediately, and it is giving us this default message. This is the default message. It is showing our workflow was started. I'm going to change it. So I'm going to change it. Instead of saying respond immediately, I'm going to select using respond to webhook. Just select this one and close this one. Let's test our workflow again, guys. We're going to start our testing our workflow again so that you will see how everything works. Okay, so I'm going to select execute workflow. So it is started executing, waiting for you to call the test URL. I'm going to select the quiz. Let me select the quiz again. So it is going to reload the page. I'm going to allow the console to be open so that you will see what it is going to return. I'm going to enter the first name again. Let me enter a random name, guys. Also going to enter the email, then start quiz. I'm going to answer this randomly without checking the answer. So I'm going to hit submit result, guys. Let me go to submit result, submitting. So you can see what is going on. See how it is going, sending email and workflow executed successfully. Let's go to the front end console. You see the message we return now is now showing a useful message, okay? Success to be true, and the message is quiz submitted successfully, which you can now use in the front end, okay? You can see what we return to the front end now using this respond to webhook. And this respond to webhook only function after the sending of the email to the instructor and sending email to the student. And let's go to our Excel worksheet now. This time around, this user performed low. The score is 3. The percentage is 30%. Now this user is a beginner. And you should start from the beginner Excel course, which is the feedback we have here, guys. We have successfully implemented our logic, guys. You can see the workflow. We started from scratch building this workflow, guys, okay? You can also select this one that says zoom to fit. It will fit your workflow like this or your node like this. And if you want to zoom, you can zoom in or zoom out, just like this. So that is how to send a response using the respond to webhook. And this response is actually working after it undergo through all this process, and it returns this response to the webhook. Let's see how we can refine our project even better, guys. Thank you. Hello guys, we are going to add AI agent to this our project so that the AI can summarize the feedback based on the skill level of a student. I'm going to add the AI before we submit the result to the worksheet, guys. I'm going to select this link and click delete it. So we want to append AI. We want the AI to give us feedback before we submit it to the worksheet. Let me click on this plus, then select AI, then select AI agent. Now, under the AI agent, we are going to use the free models from the Grok. You need to go to the Grok here, guys. So it is totally free. Just once you log in with your email address, you select API key. I'm going to select API key. Then here it says create API key. I'm going to select this one, create API key. I'm going to name it Excel quiz result. You can name your API anything, guys. Okay, if you want to set expiring date, you can set it. Also verify you are a human being. I'm going to select it. I'm going to select submit. So the API key is ready. I'm going to copy it. After successful copying it, I'm going to click done. Then go back to our workflow, source of prompt. I'm going to select define below so that I can define my own prompt here. For example, if I say hi, if I execute, there is error problem in Node AI agent model. So what I'm going to do now is go back and select this one that says chat model. Select it and search for Grok like this. This is the one we created the API key, which is totally free, and the second one has been selected. Then you select the model. Can go with the default model, but if you get error, you can try different model. So let me just go with the default model for now and click OK. Then go back, select this one. Let me execute this workflow again. The prompt message is hi. Let me click on it. Problem in Node AI bad request, please check your parameters. So you can see this model is no longer supported. So I'm going back to the model and select this chat model, select another one. So let me select this one and click OK. Then go back. So let me execute this hi again. So the prompt is hi. Let me execute it once again. You can see it return a result. So node executed successfully. You can see the output. It is nice to meet you. Is there something I can help you with, or would you like to chat? Okay, you can see the result, guys. That is the output. This is the prompt I'm going to give it, guys. I'm going to give it this prompt. So I'm going to add the student detail. So I'm going to map this student detail like this. First name to be the first name, last name to be the last name of the student. I'm just giving the AI a clue of what the quiz was about. This is the feedback. The feedback, we are not going to use this our custom feedback. The AI will create the feedback for us. That is the prompt we gave it. So let me execute this workflow now. You can see the feedback it returns based on the result we have here, guys. Let me show you how to add a system prompt. So you go to add option, then add system prompt. So this system prompt is where you want to actually give more instruction to the AI agent on what to do. We're going to keep it very simple. I just added simple. You are an AI assistant that writes short quiz feedback for students. Your task is to generate a brief, clear feedback message based on the student quiz result and skill level. Let me also copy this one that I gave here. I can copy it and paste it here. Say input fields. So I can paste the same thing. So change it to expression. Let me execute this workflow again. So you can see it is also write the output. So you have shown some strength in the Excel beginner pretest. So a good foundation in certain area. However, to further improve, it will be beneficial to focus on formula and functions. Let me close this. I need to connect this model to this. So this message that I'm sending to students, I'm going to click on it. I double click on it to open it. So I want to add the AI feedback. So the AI feedback is going to be somewhere after this our own custom feedback. So I'm going to select here and select agent, drag this AI output here. So this is going to be a detailed feedback about the student. We are not saving it to the database, but we are sending it to the student, okay? So the AI feedback is now sent to the student. I think our workflow has been done, guys. What is remaining is the memory, but this memory is useful when you are doing a chat. So if you are going to be chatting with AI, you need to add memory, but our application does not have room for chatting, guys. So it is optional to add memory here. But if you want to add memory, you can just click here to add memory. So I'm going to build a separate application that enables you to do chatting so that you will see how the memory works. With that, guys, we have added AI agent to our application. Let's do the final testing before we publish it. I'm going to select none of these things. So just select none and select execute workflow. It is going to start from the beginning. Okay, so let's go to the test. But before then, I have cleared the worksheet so that we start afresh. Let me go to the Excel test. So here I'm going to enter the name, John Doe. So I'm going to enter the email address. This is a real email address for testing. Going to start quiz. Let me answer it randomly without checking the answers. Okay, let me click submit result. Submitting. Let's see what is happening here, guys. Do you see there is no error, guys? It went through the AI agent, go through the append row, through the send message and send message to student, send message to instructor, respond to webhook. Let's go to the front end and see what we have. You can see the response we are getting. Okay, quiz submitted successfully. Okay, so this one is a browser error, guys. It is not from our application. If you go to the worksheet, you can see we submitted a result, John Doe. We also have the email, the score, percentage, skill level, date, and feedback. Let's go to the user email. That is the student email. So this is the student email here. You can see the result is now showing your Excel beginner pretest result. Let me click on it. Do you see, guys? Thank you for completing your Excel beginner pretest. And you can see the result 5/10, percentage 50%, skill level intermediate. You can see the AI feedback, guys. You have shown a good understanding of the concept in the Excel beginner pretest. scoring 50%, which is a decent start. Your strength lies in your ability to grasp basic Excel concept, but there is room for improvement in applying formula and function with some practice. You can enhance your skill and achieve better results. Focus on working with formula to take your Excel skill to the next level. This is the AI feedback sent to the student. Let me go to the instructor email. Okay, we have it. Let me open it. So you can see the instructor email. The AI feedback is not sent because we do not send the AI feedback to the instructor. Okay, you can see the student details. So that is it, guys. I hope with these examples and illustration, guys, you can be able to start automating your tasks using n8n automation tool. Before we publish our project for production, we are going to improve the AI feedback. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this AI agent. Just click on it. I'm going to include the student answer to the prompt so that the AI will understand the student answer to the questions for a better feedback. I'm also going to include it under the system prompt as well. Student answer, I'm also going to include it here. I'm going to close this. Let's do the testing once again. I'm going to select execute. Let me go to the quiz, refresh the page. Okay, this is the quiz. I'm going to enter a name again, John Doe. Then I'm going to enter a re-email for testing. Then I'm going to start quiz. I'm going to answer it randomly without checking the answer. Let me click submit, submit result. Okay, you can see it is going through this. Then submitted successfully, workflow executed successfully, no error. So I'm going to start checking the database, that is Excel sheet. Okay, we have a new result, guys. You can see this time around John Doe scores 6 and it is an intermediate. Okay, you can see from the result 6/10, 60%. Let's check the email address of the student. Open it. You can see we have the result details, 6/10, percentage 60%, skill level. Then you can see you have shown a good understanding of the basic in the Excel. Beginner pretest, scoring 60%. Your strength lie in understanding references, if statement, and filters. To further improve, focus on mastering function like average, formatting option, as these were areas where you struggle. So you can see now it is now giving the feedback based on the user's answer. It will look like a real human being feedback, guys, because it is now checking the user's performance, the question and the answers, and give feedback based on the user's answer. That is how we improve the AI feedback, guys, by including the user's answer. So the next thing we're going to do now is to deploy this application. We're going to deploy the front end to Netlify. So this is the front end project, guys, but before we deploy it, we are going to edit the webhook URL. Right now we are using the test webhook. So let's go back to our project and click on webhook. I'm going to select the production. This is the production URL. I'm going to copy it by clicking on it, then go back to our project, which is the JavaScript session here. Then I'm going to use a ternary here that say, so this flag I have here is dev. By default, it's false. I'm going to set it to be true by default. Dev is going to be true by default. So I'm going to check if it is in development. If it is in development, it should use this URL. This is the test URL. If it is in production, it should use this URL that we just copied now. So if it is in production, it should use this one. Let me just paste it like this. This is it here. So if it is in dev, that's in development, then it is going to use this test URL, that is test webhook. And if it is in production, it's going to use this one in production. That's how we set the webhook URL, guys. Now that we have set the webhook URL, let me open the folder that contains this test. test. This is the folder that contains our test. This folder here, Excel pretest. Let me go to Netlify. This is a Netlify, guys. So this is a Netlify. We're going to deploy that project. That is the front end. I'm going to drag the folder that contains our pretest. So just drag the folder into Netlify like this. And you can see it is uploading. So let's wait for it to upload. Please don't refresh. Good. You can see, guys, it is now uploaded. This is the URL, guys, and you can see quick setup. I'm going to click on quick setup. I'm going to change this project name. It's like I have already named Excel pretest. I just named this one Excel pretest 2. Click update name. The name was updated successfully. Let me select finish later, and you can see our URL is excelpretest2.netlify.app. Our URL is now excelpretest2.netlify.app. I'm going to click on it. You can see it has opened the exam quiz in a live server, guys. That is, it is running in Netlify server. Let's go back to our workflow, guys. Let me minimize this. Now, to publish this application so that the URL will work live, you need to select publish. Just select publish here and select publish again. Click got it, and your project is live and direct, guys. This project is live and direct, and because it is live and direct, we are going to test this project again. Let me clear the spreadsheet so we have a live server testing. Then I'm going to go to the quiz and refresh this page. Okay, this one is the local one, so I'm going to close the local one. We are no longer testing locally, guys. So we are going to the live server. So this is the Netlify website where our application is running. Let me open the console. Now we are going to test our application, guys. So it has been deployed in Netlify, and this is the URL here, guys. So let's test it. I'm going to enter a name, John Doe. I just entered the email. Let me start quiz. I'm going to answer this question randomly without checking the answers. Now, I have 3/10. It says submit result. Let me submit this result. Submitting. Okay, we have error, guys. Okay, we have a core errors. You see the error we are having access to fetch at from origin. So this origin has been blocked by course policy. Respond to pre-flight request doesn't pass access control check. So no access control allow origin header is present on the request resources. So this is a course error. Course stands for cross origin resource sharing. So to fix this error, let's go back to our workflow. This webhook here, you need to click on it, double click on it, go to options. Under this option, this one that say allow origins, select it. Then here you can add your URL. You can add your Netlify URL here. This time means allow access from all origins, but if you want to restrict it to only Netlify URL, you can just add your URL here. Close this. It is already published, but to be safe, I'm going to unpublish it and publish it again, so that our change will reflect. So I'm going to publish it once again. So it is already published. Let's go back and submit our result, guys. This is our quiz complete, but there is error in submitting it. Try again. So let's try to submit it again. Okay, the error persists. The error persists, guys. I hope it will not throw the error again, guys. What I did here is I said is dev to false before it was true. And when it was true, it is using the test URL. When is dev is true here, it is going to use the test URL. And when it is false, it is going to use the production URL. That is what I did, guys. So I have to change this is dev to false. Then I redeploy the application to Netlify. Now let's test it again. So let me just open the test here. I'm going to enter the name John Doe. So I enter the test email address. Click start quiz. Let me answer this question randomly again for live testing, guys. So before I submit this quiz, let me go to the console. So let me click submit result, submitting. Okay, submitted successfully, guys, and you can see from the live server, it is submitted successfully, and you can see the result, guys. Okay, success to be true, message quiz result submitted successfully. So if you get this message, that means the quiz has been submitted successfully, because we only return this message when everything went successfully. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do the final checking for the result. Let me go to the Excel worksheet. Okay, we have it here, guys. John Doe. We have the email address. We have the score is 3. So remember, this user scored 3 here, 3/10. We have the percentage is 30%. The skill level is beginner. We have the date and we have the feedback. Let's go to the student email address. This student receive email address. Let me open it. You can see, thank you for completing Excel beginner pretest. 3/10, 30%, skill level is beginner. And you can see the AI feedback, guys. You did a great job on the Excel beginner pretest, John. Okay, you can see it is addressing the user by name. Don't worry about the score. It is all part of the learning process. You can see it is now dictating that this user did not perform well. So you showed strength in identifying the correct syntax for a basic if statement and using the sum and count functions. Okay, so the area that the person got correct, you can see it is addressing the user. Keep practicing and you will get better with time. So stay encouraged and keep going. You can see a personalized feedback sent to this user based on his or her performance. And the instructor also receive email as well. Okay, this is the instructor email address. You can see the student detail, John Doe, email, quiz result sent to the instructor. Our workflow is working as expected, guys, and it is now live. It is now live and direct. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you find it useful, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and share it with your loved ones. Thank you for watching.